No, they killed. Give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So you said that they put millions of my people. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering?
Absolutely.
Should a thief go to jail when he steals?
Absolutely.
Should a robber pay back the money he robbed?
Absolutely.
So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. That's right.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacles set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never a home, only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting, the trail of my tears is countless. Main fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles and make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be. Slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash. Get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood, Slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in this body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in his dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is dish served cold, I just hope they making oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in the world of mass shooters. There was design fire for our babies to pass through. In the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
Someday you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a
All right. Payback is a motherfucker. Goddamn dog. All right. All right. All right. Shalom, Israel. All right. This is the Israelite School of University of Practical Knowledge. One West started out of Harlem, New York on 125th Street. We are not affiliated with any other Christian church or Israelite group. We teach the truth about the Bible, about the so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians today. All right. And today, tonight, this evening, I'm going to bring out, right? Stop trying to find love in all the wrong places. That's the topic for tonight. And let's see who we got in here. All right. Shalom sis, Tazara, Shalom Yahweh Shemala Thon Bashim Yahweh Shai, Princess Tazara of Office of 1,000 Battalion Kara, checking in from Chester, VA. Shalom sis. All right. Up next, we have Sister Raya. Shalom Yahweh Shemala Thon Bashim Yahweh Shai, Property River Office of 1,000 Battalion Kara, checking in from Chester, Virginia. Princess Tazara said, Mashalamka, I'm Tawab sis. The water for asking. Up next, we have this sister right here. Shalom Yahweh Shema Adatham Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. This sister checking in from Richmond, Virginia. All right.
Sister Deborah.
Oh, okay. Sister Deborah. I didn't know that was her. Okay, Sister Deborah checking in from Richmond, Virginia. Shalom, sis. All right. Up next, we have Sister Hadassah. All right, Shalom Yahweh Shema Adatham Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Sister Hadassah checking in from North Virginia. All right. Up next, we have Sister Tawana. Shalom, Yahweh Shema Adatham Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Sister Tawana, rib and property of Trooper Saryala, checking in for Chesapeake, Virginia. All right. Shalom, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Barakatah. Trooper ISUPK, signing in from Richmond, Rice, Virginia. So like it. We have Sister Amadah. All right. Shalom, Yahweh Shema Adatham. Shalom, Yahweh Shema Adatham Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Sister Amadah, checking in from Virginia. All right. Sister Shakal. Shalom, Yahweh Shema Adatham Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Sister Shakal Pakat, Property River Pakat, checking in from Rice, Virginia. All right. Young man John checking in from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Shalom, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Barakatah. To you, brother. Sister Anna. All right. Shalom, Yahweh Shema Adatham Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Sister Anna checking in from North Virginia. Shalom, sis. All right. To McCall Yala. Shalom, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Barakatah. To McCall Yala checking in from Richmond, Virginia. All right. We have We have Sister Zaraka. Shalom. Yahweh Shema Adatham Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Sister Zaraka, ribbon property of Officer 50 Yabakar, checking in from North Virginia. We have Officer Carl Sapar. Shalom. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Barakatah. Officer Carl checking in from North Virginia. Shalom. All right. We have Officer Mataz Akhara. Officer 1,000 Mataz Akhara. Shalom. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Barakatah. Shalom, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Barakatah, Officer 1,000, checking in for Chester, Virginia. Feel like I said it too fast. All right. We have Officer Yabakar. Shalom, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Barakatah, Officer Yabakar, checking in for North Virginia, man. Shalom, Shalom to our class too, man. The other day, last week. Shalom to our class. And last but not least, all right, we have Officer Yagadar. Shalom, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Barakatah, Officer 500, Yagadar, checking in from Prince George, Virginia, for attendance. All right. And with that, let's go ahead and clap it up. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. All right. Real quick, where's a sound check real quick. If you can hear me clearly, all right. Let me just get a 1 in the chat. If you can hear me clearly, let me just get a 1 in the chat. Baba Kasha. All right. All right. If you can hear me, let me just get a 1 in the chat. All right. Okay. We got people. Okay, we got the clapping. Okay, y'all can hear me. Cool. The reason for that. All right. Okay, y'all can hear me. All right. The water. All right. Okay. Hard. Okay. All right. Water. All right. The reason why I asked if y'all can hear me, because we need to really listen to what's about to be broken down tonight. All right, because we need to stop trying to find love in all the wrong places. Now, a person that's just joining this stream, that's just joining this live, may think like, oh, he about to talk about relationships. Nah, not quite. All right. Stop trying to find love in all the wrong places. See, we find love. We try to find love in the Christian church. We try to find love in the Muslim mosque. We try to find love with Egyptology. We try to find love in the Army, the Navy, the Marines. We try to find love, all right, by wearing these crystals around our neck. We try to find love by being in some type of Buddhism, Hindu, whatever type of thing that gets your dopamine up, that satisfies the dopamine inside, the chemical is inside your head. Whatever that finds pleasure, whatever you find pleasure in, that's what we try to, that's where us Blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, right, try to find love in, right? But those are the wrong places. Because according to the scripture, according to this holy bibliography, according to this separate bibliography, this separate book, who can tell me what love is? What's love? And I'm not saying Tina Turner, no pun intended. What's love? What is love? Let's start it out with a warm up. What's love according to, in here, according to the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, because we are the truth. What's love? What is love? And this is a layup. This is an easy answer. Easy question, easy answer. Damn right, Sister Ryan, right? By following the laws, statutes, and commandments. Now, 1 John 5:2. All right. Now, it's funny that you say that, right? It's funny that we all agree that, you know, the love that's being taught, the love that we know of in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge is by following the law, statutes, and commandments. But if you was to tell that to someone else, they would say, well, yeah, but, you know, I love my sorority and I love these holidays. I love this, right? I love giving gifts. I love preparing this food on December 25th. I love giving gifts on December 25th. I love it so much that I even try to have my wedding anniversary around this time of year. So much that I'm going to propose to my wife on Christmas. Because, you know, this is all about love. I love the image of being just so much and empowered and above everyone that I would join a fraternity or sorority. You know, this is around the time where fraternities and sororities have their probates, right? And with these probates, right? And these probates, that's when they come out, and they come out as their alter ego. All right. They come out as, you know, I don't know, whatever they want to come out as their alter ego and whatever fraternity or sorority they are part of, right? And they love it so much that they will shave their head bald. They love it so much that they will wake up in wee hours of the morning just to pass someone a damn remote. They love it so much that they will get paddled on the ass. That zeal for that love is an example of finding love in all the wrong places. Celebrating these holidays is finding love in all the wrong places, right? We are in an unlawful season right now of holidays and probates, right? But I can't say this. For some odd reason, right? A lot of people is dropping their letters if they're in a fraternity or sorority, right? Due to being quote unquote woke. All right. But however, right, that's why it's a good thing that you're in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. However, right, we've been telling these people this since 1969 in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge of not celebrating these holidays and of not joining these fraternities and sororities. Right? Salaki Baba Kasha. Can you just have Proverbs 1 and 22 for me on standby, Baba Kasha, right? Then right also Yabakar Salaki, in the world, they seek love from their slave. They do, right? They do. They seek love from being the employee of the month. They love that, right? From getting that little picture on the wall, right? They love that. Our people is so stiff-necked that they love February. Why they love February so much? Because that's the one month that they get recognized that the blacks that's not in the ISUPK Universal Practical Knowledge, that the blacks, Latinos, Native Indians, or the blacks so-called get recognized of being some type of, like that's their month. That's their celebration month, right? Out of 12 months, right? That one month you just feel as though that you should just feel like you just on top of the world, right? See, if you ever notice, right, sororities and fraternities are based off of Egyptians. There again, you're finding love in all the wrong places, right? It started in Egypt and went on to Greeks. They changed all these names, right, to gods. And we know one of the laws states that there should be no other gods before me. So how are you in a celebrating these holidays, and B, how are you in a sorority and a fraternity saying that you love God? You putting a God before the true God. How can you be a pastor, a first lady, a deacon, or whatever the hell you call yourself in the Christian church, right? And you still put up the Delta sign, you still put up the do all of that, right? You do all of that, but you say you love God. You basically just spitting on God, basically saying he ain't nothing. Basically saying he's equal to the God that you're worshiping. Make it make sense. The math not math, right? So and I'm just going to use this acronym for tonight, BLGO, which stands for Black Letter Greek Organizations, right? Practice this, or they worship this, right? They worship these fraternities. They worship these sororities. They worship being an Eastern Star. They worship being a Prince Mason, right? They worship these things, right? So we're going to also touch on how these BLGOs, Black Letter Greek Organizations, was founded and why were they founded. We're going to focus on that. But my first question is, just to warm it up a little bit, why do you think these BLGOs, these Black Letter Greek Organizations, were founded? Why do you think they was founded? Why do you think us blacks founded these Black Letter Greek Organizations? Why do you think we did that? Is there anybody in here that knows why? Anybody in the chat? Why do you think these Black Letter Greek Organizations were formed? Why? Why was it founded? Why was it created? Why? Why? It's an answer. It's damn sure an answer to this. It's a correct answer to this. Why were these black letter Greek organizations founded? Why? Sister Ryan said to be like our oppressors. Okay. Chu McCall said they want to have some form of. Y'all two is right on it. Y'all two smacked it right on the nose, smacked it right on the head. Damn right. So like because damn right, Officer Yabakar. So like because we are the oppressors. Yeah. Yeah. Damn right, Sister how to start the former Brotherhood. Damn right. That's exactly why. Right? It was birthed out of segregation, right? We wanted something to have or say that's ours, right? All we had to do was Zephaniah 2:1, right? But we wanted to form something, right? We wanted to form something that we can say is ours, right? That's why these black letter Greek organizations were founded, because we ain't want to feel left out. All of these answers are correct. All right. So if you are one of those people that's denouncing your sorority or fraternity, right? Don't be quiet about it, right? Keep talking about it and come into the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, right? And it goes along with celebrating these holidays, right? Side quick PS, a quick side piece, right? Officer Call, right, did a hell of an interview out there in New Mexico, man. If you paid attention to that interview or looked at that interview, you know, he basically, you know, was out there with the true Indians, right? With like the true bloodline Indians. And, you know, basically just to put it all in a nutshell, he was appalled that them Native Indians out there was celebrating Thanksgiving, right? You know, they was acting like the Judah, like, you know, we just gonna just come together as a family, right? He was really appalled, man. So I whenever that brother get a chance, I let him break that down. I don't want to touch nothing, you know, of how he want to break that down. But that was a hell of an interview, man. He was really appalled, man. Real quick, Baba Kashah, if I could get Proverbs 1 and 22. If I could get Proverbs 1 and 22, Baba Kashah, right? Because we gotta understand, man. You know, we gotta understand that, you know, that we can't be finding love in all the wrong places. Us finding love in all the wrong places is going to leave us corrupt. We're going to be corrupt minded, and we're going to be so much corrupt minded that when somebody try to correct you, right, you're going to feel like that person telling you wrong, right? You finding love in all the wrong places, right, is going to have you thinking that someone is telling you wrong by telling you not to worship this and not to worship that. That's why it's important to come into the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commanding General Yohana and learn what love is from these generals, captains, and officers, right? That's why it's important to come in here, man, because we ain't new to this. We true to this, right? This truth been brought out since 1969, right? Since 1969, all right? So this is Proverbs, right? 1 and 22, okay? This is Proverbs 1 and 22, all right? It says, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? Right? That's what the Lord is asking us. It's very simple. All the colors, rituals, the hazing, the stepping, it's simple. It's nothing out of nothing out of your priests and prophets. This does not originate from none of the priests and prophets in this Bible, right? and the daughters. Ain't none of the daughters of Zion do none of this in this Bible, right? So how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And in addition to this, the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Of course, these blacks hate knowledge, right? These Hispanics and these native Indians hate the knowledge that of joining these Greek organizations and celebrating these holidays, right? That brings me right back to what Officer Carl Sapar, his interview that he did out there in New Mexico, right? That these native Indians, you know what I'm saying, they still, you know, you would think, now not all the Indians though, but these Indians that he was on the interview, you would think that, you know, they would have powwows of how they hate Thanksgiving. But instead, you know, they thinking like it's just a day of just celebration of being around your family, right? That is what finding love in all the wrong places take you, right? And then when someone like a priest and prophet like myself, right, try to correct you, you're gonna hate the knowledge that I'm saying. You're gonna think that these generals and captains and officers in this school is brainwashing you or something like that. All right. So again, you tell them to don't celebrate Thanksgiving and Christmas and give yourself and to not give yourself over to these false gods. They hate you for it. You tell them to stop celebrating Thanksgiving and Christmas and stop giving yourself over to these false gods. They hate you for it. All right. They think you lack knowledge and that you're not enlightened. Right? So I can put my computer on the charger real quick. All right. They think that you're not enlightened. Shoot, prime example. The Christian pastor, so like let me put my computer on the charger real quick, Bob Kashan. So like, yeah. The Christian pastor William Murphy, right? So like, sir, what does the word scorner mean? Okay, let's go to our Merriam-Webster dictionary. All right, scorner mean. Let's go to our Merriam-Webster dictionary, right? That's a good question. All right, so scorner, okay? A scorner is open to dislike, right? And disrespect. A synonym with this for this would be like mockery, often mixed with indignation. So it's like an object of extreme disdain, right? Contempt or derision, something contemptible. So basically, it's something that dislikes something, right? If you're a scorner, you don't like it, right? You don't like it, right? If you scorn something, you don't like it, or you just disrespect me, right? You disrespecting it, right? So basically, and the scorners, the ones that don't like the scorners, right? The people that don't like the knowledge, right? The light in their scorn. So they like to be disrespectful, right? They like to be disliked, right? They find delight in that. They find happiness in that, right? And in addition to this, fools hate knowledge, right? They like, so basically it's just like saying this, right? This is a layup. You tell your Christian pastor, you know, John 3:16 is not for everybody. It ain't for everybody. See, no, you wrong. God love everybody. No, you wrong. God love everybody. He yellow, white, black, and purple. No, he loves everybody. You know what? So then now you go from John 3:16. Now you go to Psalms 90 and 2, right? Now you go to all these different breakdowns, Hebrews 11 and 3. You go to all these different breakdowns to show them, right? And now he's still thinking, no, you wrong. You start breaking down the different worlds where you got your sea world, you got your Western world, you got your third world, right? It's more than one world, right? He just think that he disrespecting your knowledge. He don't like it, and he found delight. He found happiness of being disrespectful to you, thinking that he just think that he's just so much above you. That's what that means, right? Okay, yeah, good question, man. That was a great question, Scorners. That was a great question, right? So with that, and this is, it just leads on to, how long ye simple ones, right? Ye simple ones, will you love simplicity, right? And in addition to this, the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. So again, you tell them, these people, these blacks, Latinos, and this is not in this school to not celebrate Thanksgiving and Christmas, right? And give yourself over to these false gods. They hate you for it, right? They think you lack the knowledge and that you're not enlightened, a la your Christian pastor, right? However, right, they are the ones in the dark, right? That's why Hosea 4:6 is important, right? Baba Kashah, right? Can I just have in the load up, Mark 7 and 8 on the load up? But however, can I please get that first video, Baba Kashah? Can I get that first video about the Greek organizations? All right, because I want to show you guys, where it all founded, where it all started, where it all came from, right? I want to give you the foundation of these BLGOs, these Black Letter Greek organizations, right? So I'm gonna show you guys a video of just for you guys just to get an idea of a Greek organization, right? I mean, we've been living on this earth long enough to know what a Greek organization is, but just in case we forgot, I want to break down and go into detail more about these Greek letter organizations. All right. I want to do that. Now, before we play this,
what God?
This is fair use to YouTube. This is fair use. All right. Fair use to YouTube. All right. Fair use. And Baba Kashah, please play it. Baba Kashah.
Or deities are associated with Greek fraternities and sororities in the Divine Nine. Number 1, Alpha Phi Alpha. The deity and god connected to Alpha Phi Alpha is the Sphinx and Horus. The Sphinx is a mythical creature in Egyptian, Asian, and Greek mythology. In Egypt, it is associated with the sun god Ra. Horus is an Egyptian sky god. Number 2, Alpha Kappa Alpha. The gods and goddesses connected to Alpha Kappa Alpha are Atlas, Themis, and Katesh. Atlas is a Greek god and is depicted on the crest of Alpha Kappa Alpha. Themis is a Greek Titan goddess mentioned in rituals. Katesh or Kadesh is a Semitic fertility goddess of Canaan/Syria or Samaria, associated with beauty, love, and lust. This is an informal association. Number 3, Delta Sigma Theta. The goddess connected to Delta Sigma Theta is Minerva. Minerva is a Roman goddess of wisdom and war. She is depicted on Delta's crest and is mentioned in rituals. Number 4, Iota Phi Theta. The deity connected to Iota Phi Theta is the Centaur. Centaurs are Greek mythical creatures, often known for savagery, drunkenness, and violence, especially sexual violence. The centaur Chiron is considered a symbol of wisdom.
Let's start right
Number
there.
5.
They are. Did you hear that? They are known for drunkenness and sexual deviancy. Right. This is what you are joining. This is what you are put yourself a part of when you claim to be a iota beta or AKA or a delta or anything of that nature, man. I wanted to keep going to Salaki, sir. I want to stop it when I get to Omega Psi Phi. I want them to see something. I want them to see something. I just want us to break down a little bit of what was being shown. But Salaki, sir, Bob Kashab, you could please pick that video clip back up, and I'm gonna cut it at when we get to Omega Psi Phi. Bob Kashab.
Kappa Alpha Psi. The gods connected to Kappa Alpha Psi are Apollo, Ares, and Thoth. Apollo is a Greek god of the sun and light, mentioned in rituals. Ares is a Greek god of war and battle, also referenced in rituals. Thoth is an Egyptian moon god of wisdom, magic, and other domains. Number 6. Omega Psi Phi. The goddess and god connected to Omega Psi Phi are Shekinah and Anubis.
Look at that. That is, if you could, Baba Kashar, go just scroll back a little bit to that guy. To that guy. If you could, Baba Kashar.
Psi are Apollo, Ares, and Thoth. Apollo is a Greek god of the sun and light, mentioned in rituals. Ares is a Greek god of war and battle, also referenced in rituals. Thoth is an Egyptian moon god of wisdom, magic, and other domains. Number 6. Omega Psi Phi. The goddess and god connected.
Right there. Look at that guy. All right. Look at that guy. Right. Do anybody know who that guy is? Let me get a 1 or a 2 in the chat if you know who that guy is. If you know who that guy is, let me get a 1. If you don't know who that guy is, let me get a 2. All right. I want to talk about this guy. If you know who this guy is, let me get a 1. And if you don't know who this guy is, let me get a 2. All right. So we don't know who this guy is. All right. All right. Twos. All right. Twos. Okay. 2's the favorite number here tonight. All right. So this guy here, his name is William Murphy. All right. William Murphy, you know, he's a well, I look like the purple people. Well, it's not the. Well, I mean, it is the purple people. It's not the purple people. Anyway, it's not IUIC. However, this guy is a Christian pastor now, but he was first a gospel singer. He has hits, you know, let it rise, all them type of hits. You know, he's a gospel singer. He just now he's been a gospel singer for many years. And he just now crossed over to being a part of Omega Psi Phi. He has a church in Atlanta. This was the guy that did the christening of, remember the brat, when the brat had her baby, and he did the christening with her girlfriend, and there was a big uproar on social media about him doing the christening and all that type of stuff of the baby. I think he married them or something too. Right? They was at his church. This is what happens when you find love in all the wrong places, right? You start, okay, so you remember that. You start to agree and be on one accord with this guy. He is a quote unquote Christian leader, right? Right? People go to him to be to be to be consolidated, to be, to be heard, right? Right. This picture do look suspect. Just look at the guy in the back with the damn choke around his neck. But this is what your Christian pastor is a part of. He's a part of this. He's the one that's going to disagree with you and tell you that John 3:16, right, is not just for the Israelite, it's for everybody. He's going to tell you that you should love everybody. He's going to tell you that it's all right to eat pork as long as you pray over your food. He's going to tell you that it's all right to he's going to actually offer you, he's going to, okay, we're about to have a crab boil Friday. We're about to have a Pentecost picnic. We're going to have some ribs, some pig feet. Shirley going to bring the chitlins. He's okay with that. Right? He's supposed to be serving God, Yahweh, but he's also serving a Greek god. This is where the confusion takes place. All right here. All right. Now we can finish that clip, Barbara Shaw. We're not gonna finish the whole thing. Just after they finish Omega Psi Phi, we're gonna cut
To
it.
Omega Psi Phi are Shekinah and Anubis. Shekinah, also known as Asherah, Ashtoreth, or Astarte, is a female goddess spirit in Kabbalah, Merkava mysticism, and Gnosticism. Omega rituals refer to the spirit of Omega as female in nature. Anubis is an Egyptian god of the dead, often
right
depicted with the head of
see
a
that hand
jackal or
sign?
dog.
Y'all saw that hand sign? That's where they get it from. That's where they get it from right there. When they do that, they do it. That's where they get it from. Anubis. That's where they get it from right there. Right? That's the hand sign that Omega Psi Phi put up. What type of... We were supposed to be saved from Egypt. We were supposed to have been let go from Egypt. Free from Egypt. Now are the blacks and the Latinos and Native Indians that's not in this school, they want to go back to Egypt. Even though we are living in the land of bondage today, but they don't find no wrong in this. They don't. Now, Barbara Kashaw, sir, can I get the clip about the paddling? All right. Because this clip that's about to be shown, Slaki, is the dog God. Why they do all the that bark? Damn right. That's why. That's exactly why. Great question. That's exactly right. Con. Now, this clip that's about to be shown right here about the paddling, this is what was opened up in the beginning of class, right? Of the question I asked was, why were these organizations founded, right? It's because we wanted to have something that was ours. And a lot of you guys said that, brothers and sisters said that, we wanted to be like our oppressor, right? We wanted to be like our oppressor. Well, this clip that's about to get shown is putting the cherry on top of how, of your answers. It's proving that you guys was right. That the reason why these BLGOs was created was because we wanted to have something that was ours and we wanted to be like our oppressor. That's all what it boils down to. The oppressor, they got their thing going on. Okay, we want our thing going on, right? They got their PWIs up and running. Okay, let's get our HBCUs up and running. PWI stands for Predominantly White Institution. And these predominantly white institutions, they got these iota betas, all right, these whatever Greek things they got going on. Okay, well, we're going to do it over here at HBCUs then. We're going to do this. We're going to have our own Divine Nine, right? And whatever you can do, we can do better. That was the whole spirit behind forming these BLGOs, right? And this clip that's about to get shown, right? This clip that's about to get shown about this paddling, right, is going to show why you should not let the devil in. Ephesians 4:27. Why you should not let the devil in, because if you let the devil in, right, you're going to start adopting the things that he does. If you let the deceiver in, if you let this oppressor in, you're going to start trying to imitate, emulate. You're going to try to copy. You're going to try to synergize yourself, synchronize yourself into doing the things that they do. And this video clip that's about to get shown is a prime example, right, of what happens when we let the oppressor in, when we let the deceiver in. You got it for me, Baba Kashaw?
Like
This little
preparing
clip.
for motherhood.
Look at that. Look at that. That is where this is how our brothers and our sisters is getting unalive today, by egregious paddling on the butts, but all these certain rituals and things they got to do just to be a part of something, right? Just to be a part of something. This is how all our brothers and sisters are being headlined on the news for rituals going wrong, hazing gone wrong, right? We adopted this from envying our oppressor, right? That's what we did. See, the Egyptian god Seth is where hazing comes from. We ain't got to flip back and forth into the videos, right? But the Egyptian god Seth from that first video, right? It's probably if I would have had to go a little bit on, but I'm just giving you some background of the Egyptian god Seth, right? The Egyptian god Seth is where hazing come from, right? This is where the Black Greek organizations get their understanding of hazing, because this Egyptian god is black. Can we get that? Let's get that first video back up, Bob Kashaw. It's after Omega Sci-Fi, if I could. It's after
With
Omega
the head
Sci-Fi.
of a jackal or dog.
Yep.
Number 7. Phi Beta Sigma. The goddess and god connected to Phi Beta Sigma are Pallas Athena and Horus. Pallas Athena is a Greek goddess of wisdom and war. Horus is an Egyptian sky god. Number 8. Sigma Gamma Rho. The goddess connected to Sigma Gamma Rho is Aurora.
Okay.
Aurora is a Roman goddess mentioned in their rituals. Number 9. Zeta Phi Beta. The deity and goddess connected to Zeta Phi Beta are Archon and Batet. Archon is a demon or underworld ruler in Gnosticism. Batet is an Egyptian cat-headed goddess,
Okay, there, sir, Bob Kashaw, if I could.
often informally associated with Zeta.
That is a demon. It said that this god is a damn demon. Is a damn demon. And the Zetas is on these HBCUs. It's a damn demon, right? You worshiping these Egyptian and Greek gods, and one of the gods is a damn demon. How are you part of the Christian church? How can you say you love God? This is a smack in the face. right? You keep going, Baba Kashan. I want to get the Seth, Baba Kashan.
Zeta's pledges are frequently referred to as kittens. All organizations with hazing are connected to the god Set. Set or Seth is an Egyptian god of war, disorder, violence, pain, and the desert. Many Greek organizations use the term Set for underground hazing activities. Additionally, the phrase crossing the burning sands refers to the transition from a pledge to a full member. The gods associated with Greek-lettered organizations, including BGLOs and many others.
That is where the hazing comes from. Seth, right? And quick. I want to see if we on the same page with each other. Why you think that these BLGOs will agree with Seth? Why you think these BLGOs is in agreement with Seth? We all saw how Seth looked like, right? What color is Seth? Seth is black, right? So of course they're gonna think, oh yeah, you know, we supposed to do this. This is a black god. Yeah, we could do this, right? This is where all the hazing and all the rituals and all this stuff originated from. All evil, all demonic, all against the grain of what the Most High is telling you not to do. Right? All right. Shalom, Yahaba Shem Yashar Rakatah, also Ram Mott, checking in for Baltimore, Virginia. Okay, that's right. Sadar Desai said, I could never understand why they would want to be like them, considering how we are treated by them. The obsession of wanting to be like them, I would never understand it. Right. I never understand it either. You know what I'm saying? See, that's why it's important, right? That's why it's important to train up a child in the way they should go, right? That's why it's important for us parents to be in the Israelite School Universe Practical Knowledge. So then when our child start developing more understanding, right? And say they want to further their education, right? Okay, cool, right? But when it comes to actually joining in to these BLGOs, whatever institution they get accepted in, they know that's not a God. I ain't supposed to be doing that. I ain't supposed to be getting patted on my ass. I ain't supposed to be getting hazed and none of that. Right? I'm just here to get my little credentials and get the phone out of here. Right? Officer Jabba Carr says, like I said, they think everyone with black skin is one race. Right? They do. They damn sure do. Now back to the Egyptian god Seth. So the Egyptian god Seth is where the hazing comes from. This is where the black Greek organizations get their understanding of hazing, because this Egyptian god is black, right? And going back to what Officer Jabba Carr said, they think everyone with black skin is one race. No, we not, right? So what's the definition of hazing? Let's go to our Merriam-Webster dictionary. The definition of hazing, right? And let's keep our sister Talboff, in our prayers, man. She going through a little surgery she got going on. You know what I'm saying? Keep sis in our prayers. And the reason why I bring up Sister Talboff, because Sister Talboff, she would be up on these definitions, right? She's like a moderator for me. Like as soon as I say what this word is, she right quick up on it, right? So let's keep that sister. You know what I'm saying? Lift her up in these prayers, man. All right. So let's get the definition of hazing. Right? Hazing, the action of hazing, it's an initiation process This is from the Merriam-Webster Dictionary. This is a book that we should all have, right? You can have a book or it could be on our phones, right? So an initiation process involving someone as a fraternity pledge who is subjected to unpleasant tricks or forced to do unpleasant or unsafe things, right? Unsafe things. So show me in the Bible, and this is where I would as our Christian pastor, know what I'm saying, you know, why he crossed over, because show me in the Bible where you must humiliate yourself to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, right? Hazing is not biblical. Your pastor is in a fraternity. He took it up a notch and became a Freemason, right? But you expect to get the truth out of him? Out of this man, this pledge, and then took it up a notch and became a Freemason? You expect to get the truth out of him, right? He got all the degrees and theology degrees and still don't have the truth at all, right? Can I get Mark 7 and 8, Baba Kashaw? Mark 7 and 8, Baba Kashaw, right? We're gonna take more of a deeper dive in this, man. If you understand what's going on, let me just get a 1 in the chat real quick. Before I keep going on, right? Before I keep going, let's make sure, let's have a check for understanding moment. If you understand what's going on, what's being taught, let me just get a 1 in the chat real quick, man. Because this is something that you can really, know what I'm saying, hang your hat on. You can really come back and just be like, yo, like, you could cut anybody with this. That's in these Greek fraternities, or they want to celebrate these damn holidays. You can cut them. You cut. As soon as you lay these scriptures down, they cut. Right? They cut. So here we go. This is in red. This is Mark 7:8. This is in red. So who's speaking? Christ is speaking. So for the conjunction for this reason, for laying aside the commandment of the Most High, so for laying aside the commandment of God, ye hold the tradition of men. The tradition of men is what these Greek organizations practice. That's the tradition of men. The tradition of men is what these Greek organizations practice. So for laying aside the commandment of God, ye hold the tradition of men. We just went over the traditions of Babylon, right? Greece, Rome, and Egypt. That's what these BLGOs are, right? We just went over this, right? As the washing of pots and cups and many other such things like ye do, right? We just went over these things. We would do these things just like the other, like the traditions of the men has done, right? We're gonna pick these commandments aside that the Most High gave us, and we're gonna do these traditions of what these men do. We're gonna get drunk and be sexual and have some type of sexual deviancies about ourselves. Now it's okay to be merry. It's all right. Drinking is lawful. Right? Just not can't be no drunk, can't be no person that's just doing like what these IOTA betas doing, having some type of sexual deviancy after they get drunk. Right? Right? That's what this you might say Sakari is part of them. All pun intended. Right? Right? So you want to put aside these commandments of the Most High and adopt these traditions of men, right? As of washing pots and of cups, as washing the pots and of the cup. You want to do what they do, how they do it. As simple as just washing how they wash pots and cups. and many other such things like ye do. You want to do many other such things like they do. You want to haze like they do. You want to get a paddle and spank people on the ass like they do, right? Let's get that precept real quick. Jeremiah 10:1, Baba Kashan, if I could. Let's get a precept to that. Jeremiah 10:1. Right? You want to lay these commandments aside and you want to hold the traditions of men. This is what Christ is telling you. Right? He's telling you this. Like he's saying, for this reason, of you putting these commandments aside, you want to adopt these traditions of men. You want to go you want to go as simple of how the way they washing the pots and the cups. Right? You want to go and you want to take it up a notch, and you want to do you want to shave your beard. Right? You want to start wearing your fringes. Right? That's what you want to do. If you IUIC, you want to wear purple and gold, just like Omega Psi Phi. You want to be a Q dog, right? If I could, can I get Jeremiah 10:1, right? Because this is what your pastors, this is what your companions and for your this is what your pastors need to learn. They need to learn this. They need to get out that Baptist, that apostolic, that Pentecostal, and whatever denomination they're in, and they need to come in the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge. They need to strip themselves and be a young man. They need to work on being a trooper in this truth. But they got to strip themselves and be a young man. They got to learn what's being taught and why it's being taught, how the way is being taught in here. Because what was taught to you, right? What was taught to you is not what's taught. What was taught to you is not what was taught correctly, right? So this is Jeremiah 10:1. All right. Hold on, Sister Hadasai said, I was asked to join the Eastern Star. However, I did my research and I said, hell no. However, those fraternities are wicked and have you thinking you're going to have some type of power. They do. They do. How you think you have some type of power? And how the way they get you is that, okay, you want this job? Well, if you're part of this sorority, of this fraternity, right, you'll get first dibs of being hired for this job. Right? That's how they'll get you. Right? Slavery. That's how we say it in the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge. Right? You join this sorority, you join this fraternity, you guaranteed to come out with a banging slavery. Which is, I don't think there's no such thing. All right. But anyway, so this is Jeremiah. Damn right. See, yup, they almost got me on that alone, but I did my research. See? Damn right, sis. Yeah, that's just in hand. Damn right. You did your damn research. That was a Tawab job. All right. This is Jeremiah 10:1, right? Jeremiah 10:1. So before I read this, right? Damn right. Damn right. It's my sis right there. Shalom, Yahweh Shema, Thought by Shemi Avashai, Sister Tabal, checking in from Williamsburg, Virginia. Shalom, Yahweh Bashim Yashai Brakatah. All right. Believe this count right there. Shalom. All right. So here we have this is what our companions in the Christian church need to learn. All right. It's not a Christian church in your city that's going to read this verse. Reading this scripture is going to have all these Eastern Stars, Prince Freemasons, and Black Letter Greek organizations get up and denounce it. The only reason why your BGLO, your Black Greek Letter Organization, exists is because you couldn't get in the white ones. So you made an eviler version with more perversion. You went against your God to do it. So Jeremiah 10:1. So this first verse is talking about the Blacks, Latino, and Native Indians, right? So it says, hear ye. Hear ye means what? Listen. Hear ye the word which the Most High speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Think about your house, right? Think about your house that you in right now. Think about it, right? There are rules and leadership in your house. Same thing with this nation. We are a family, right? And there are certain rules, right, and regulations that's supposed to be done and gone about in this house of Israel, in this family, in this nation. All right. Let's go to verse 2, Bob Kashan, if I could. All right. Let's go to verse 2. All right. So it says this. Thus saith the Most High Power, the Lord, right? Thus said the Lord, right? Learn not the way of the heathen. Again, not one Christian pastor, Greek organization, they not going to read this, right? Learn not the way of the heathen. Because now the question is, what's the heathen? Who's the heathen? Who's the heathen that we should not be learning from? That's the question to the damn Christian pastors. Hey, William Murphy. Hey, T.D. Jakes. Well, which is now Sarah Jakes. Hey, Donna McClurkin, Marvin Sapp. What are the ways that we're not supposed to learn of the heathen? What are they? They would not be able to answer that. Right? The Most High just said, don't learn the way of the heathen. Right? You learning the way of the heathen will have you wearing purple and getting spanked on your behind. That's you learn the way of the heathen. It was one interview that I saw. A brother said he got paddled so hard that he needed skin grafts. He had MRSA because his butt was so raw from getting paddled on the ass, right? He couldn't even sit down properly, right? He also said, and this is how this sexual deviancy come into play. He also said that they put hot sauce on his penis. Man, listen, if I would have had that interview, we'll be on the interview all day. I'm just giving you the key points that I got from this interview. So what that mean? If they put hot sauce on your penis, what that mean? That mean you had to expose yourself to other brothers. But you want to be part of this. Right? Now, homecoming. Homecoming is supposed to be the day where everyone just have fun and drink and catch up, right? Well, he said homecoming weekend was worse, right? When they was going through that process. Homecoming weekend was worse when they was going through that process. Now, my question to you, real quick. Let's see if we're on the same page. Why was the process worse during homecoming weekend? Have you on the pause, Sister Ryan? So say if you understand this interview, you listen to this brother, and he's saying, yo, this process of me trying to be a Kappa, Omega, whatever it was worse during homecoming weekend. Why was it worse during homecoming weekend? That's my question for y'all. Why was it worse for a person that was going through the process of being part of a sorority or fraternity? Why was it worse during homecoming weekend? Why? Okay. Damn right, Sister Deborah. She said you had old brothers coming in, and now they had to show out for the old brothers. Well, you're right. You're right, but it's like you like 80% right. I'm gonna help you out with your answer before anyone else try to put the answer in, because you was right. I'm gonna give you the extra 20%. Now listen. Yes, you had old brothers coming in. And it's not so much of the people that's going through this process trying to show out. No, them old brothers now want a piece of the pie. Them old brothers that was part of spring 2014 and 10 and 96 and whatever the case may be, now they want a piece of the paddling. Now they want a piece of the pin, the hot sauce on the penis, right? You're already getting it from the guys as a partner fraternity already that's on campus. You're already getting it from them, right? You're already getting it from them. Now you're about to get it from the old brothers that already crossed, right? So thus said the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be, in addition to this, of learning not the way of the heathen, be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Right? What does dismayed mean? What does dismayed mean? All right, let's go to our Merriam-Webster dictionary. Dismayed. Okay. So dismayed means this: experiencing or showing feelings of alarm, concern, or dismay. A synonym for that, being upset, right? Or be worried, or be agitated because of some unwelcome situation or occurrence, right? So the Most High said, don't learn the way of the heathen, right? And be not dismayed, meaning like don't be upset, don't be worried of the signs of heaven, for the heathen are worried for these signs of heaven. You leave the worrying for the heathen. You leave the dismaying for the heathen, right? You leave the upsetness for the heathen. Don't you be upset, right? You leave that for the heathen. Let's go to verse 3, Baba Kashah. Right? Let's go to verse 3, Baba Kashah. Right? It says this: for this reason, The conjunction for, it's like it means for this reason, right? For the customs of the people are vain. The customs of joining these Greek organizations are vain, right? They are vain. They are not of God. They did nothing. All right? They are vain. Right? If I could, Baba Kashah, can I get 2nd Maccabees 4 and 13? 2nd Maccabees 4 and 13. All right. 2nd Maccabees 4 and 13. Now, while you get this, Bob Kashah, Salakia, while you get this, while you already have this in your clip, right? Can I get that video, that last video? All right, Bob Kashah, that last video, that third video, and I want to skip it to the minute and 53-second mark of that video, Bob Kashah. All right. All right. So, you know, it just amazes me. You know, I love, man, being a part of the Israelite School University of Patronage. This is the truth, home of the truth. There's no other truth around this, man, because you get your level of understanding goes to a different level. It goes up a notch. All right. You got it from Bob Kashah?
They wanted to be neurosurgeon. They wanted to be lawyers. They wanted to be everything. They were good.
Now, it's good. You can pause it right there because I'm going to bring it real quick. So this video right here is about the hazing of the student George Dunis. All right. This is about the hazing, the tragic story of the student George Dunis. Now, George Dunis, he ain't go to no HBCU. All right. Let me get a one in the chat if you know about this story about George Dunis. Let me get a one in the chat real quick if you know about this story about George Dunis. I'm saying it wrong. That's Dunis. He was a Haitian brother. A Haitian brother. Let me get a one in the chat, or let me get a two in the chat. Let me get a one in the chat if you know about this brother, George Dunis, or a two in the chat if you don't know about this brother, George Dunis. Okay, Sister Hadasai, you know about him. All right. This was a Haitian brother. Right? Smart brother. Smart. Right? Okay. Well, this is about to inform you about, what was going on about his story. So, Bob Kashah, you can play it, Bob Kashah.
And now, what happened?
I read about Marie and her son George in the New York Times. A mother who immigrated from Haiti to give her only child a chance at a better life.
My family consists of two people, my mom, Marie, and myself. Over the years, I have come to realize the sacrifices that she has made for me in order to help me achieve something with my life.
When George was about 2 years old, his father passed, and he became George and I. George was the love of my life. It was a Monday. I came home around 11:30. I heard a scream. And I still hear the scream in my ears today. It was George. He said, Mom, I got accepted. George got accepted to Cornell. That was one of the happiest days for him.
Let's pause it. So there's a quick background because I'm about to skip it up, all right, for the sake of class. All right. So this mother came from Haiti with her son, all right, her only son, right? First of all, do you know how hard it is to make it out of Haiti? I want to keep that. I want to keep that clip up, Bob Kashak, because I'm gonna skip it down to the 3 minute and 47 mark, right? Because this part of the video is very important. All right. So this was her. He went to Cornell. This brother from Haiti, Levite. This brother from Haiti, right, got accepted into Cornell. Right? This is why it's important to stop trying to find love in all the wrong places. Right? He got accepted into Cornell, and at this 3 minute and 47 minute mark, I don't want to give away the story. I want you guys to get an aha moment on your own versus me give you the aha moment with my words. I want you guys to get a visual, right, of what actually transpired with him at Cornell. I know Sister How does I know, right? But I want you guys to get get informed about what happened during his tenure at Cornell. So Bob Kashak, can we get that video clip back up and have it to the 3 minute and 47 mark, Bob Kashak?
At Cornell, Sigma Alpha Epsilon fraternity had this annual tradition where pledges got to haze their big brothers. And on February 25th, 2011, at around 3 a.m., the pledges got to haze George. Soon after, news broke about the hazing.
They bound his wrists and ankles with zip ties and duct tape. And compelled him to consume alcohol until he lost consciousness. Back at the frat house, Dedoun was dumped on a couch and left to die.
That's important. This is what happens when trying to join these Greek organizations. This is what happened.
When you read what happened, like every time I close my eyes and I think what they did to George, and then I'm like, is this what gentlemen do? Is this what make you a man?
George was the fourth hazing-related death within SAE, a fraternity with deep roots and a storied reputation covered widely by news media all over the country.
Labeled the deadliest fraternity in the U.S., SAE has had multiple deaths from hazing and alcohol-related incidents.
Sigma Alpha Epsilon, SAE, announced it closed down the local chapter.
A few years after George's death, someone leaked this video made by members of SAE at the University of Oklahoma. The video went viral.
Pause it. That's all need to be said. That's all need to be said right there. That's all that needs to be said. They hanging from a tree. There would never be a nigga in SAE. Come on, that is what happens when you try to find love in all the wrong places. That's the theme of this whole class tonight. This is what happens when you try to find love in all the wrong places. Right? These Edomites did not even plan for George to be part of their damn organization. Right? Now this mother from Haiti with her only son, she lost her only son by some damn Edomites, some damn oppressors. Right? Whole time these Edomites did not even plan. They got him drunk and did everything to him. They ain't planning for him to be a part of the damn organization. Come on now. So let me get Maccabees, Second Maccabees 2, and Slaki. Second Maccabees 4 and 13. Right? This is what happens when you try to follow these organizations. This is what happens when you try to be a part of these organizations, right? And for a better life. This is what happens when you go to a PWI, predominantly white institution, and try to join their organization. You see what just happened to George. This is what happens when you go to an HBCU and you try to join these divine now organizations for a better life. You expose yourself, you get hot sauce on your penis, you get pounded on your ass so your butt is raw, and you get mercy. Right? So, with all that being said, all you have to do is follow the laws, statutes, and commandments for a better life. SAEs was the fraternity he died in. He got unalived in. That was not an accident. Him being unalive was not an accident. Right? Ah, man, I'm gonna save that clip for another day, but it's another one when those three Omega men from those three men expelled from Omega Psi Phi fraternity. This just happened. I forgot the boy name. He was a light skinned brother. He just died from he just was unalive from the hazing from these three Omega Psi Phi guys that was in this organization, right? But with that being said, I thought Bloods and Crips was bad. Bloods and Crips ain't got nothing on these damn sororities and fraternities, right? All right. So now this is Second Maccabees 4 and 13. This is gonna have to be a part 2. All right. So, and I'm gonna stop at 14. So now, such was the height of Greek fashions, right? These Greek fashions. Now was the height of these Greek fashions. This was the height of these Greek fashions. In addition to this, increase of heathenish manners. What are these heathenish manners? We just saw a video about it, getting real drunk, having some type of sexual deviancy, right? These Greek fashions, wearing these purple, throwing up these damn signs, doing these devilish things, right? These evil things. Though through the exceeding profanes of Jason, that ungodly wretch, and no high priest, though exceeding the profanes of Jason, that ungodly wretch, and he ain't no high priest. Verse 4, the water, right? Verse 14, the water. Okay, that the priests had no courage to serve anymore at the altar, but despising the temple. That's what's going to happen. You're going to stop and you're going to hate serving the Lord by following these Greek fashions. You're going to stop and you're going to hate the Lord. Right? The priests had no courage to serve anymore at the altar, but started to hate, despising the temple. You don't want to serve the Lord no more. You're going to hate the word of the Lord being a part of these Greek organizations. Right? You're engulfed in reculture. That's what's going on when you partake in these fraternities and in these sororities. Right? I'm gonna finish this, right? In addition to this, and neglecting the sacrifices hastened, right? Hastened to be partakers of the unlawful allowance in the place of exercise after the game of discus called them forth. So we're more focused on becoming athletes or things that mean nothing to us. It doesn't benefit us to be able to dunk a basketball or to run a touchdown, right? How is that helping bring crack out the neighborhood? How is that helping bring the weed, the drugs out the neighborhood, right? If you take note of the leaders that America has propped up for us to follow, right? They have ties to these BGLOs, to these Black Greek letter organizations or Greek letter organizations, right? Even these athletes are a part of some organizations. Michael Jordan, right? LeBron, right? LeBron, he not a part of no Greek, or he never went to college. LeBron part of that Freemasonry, right? I know Officer Yagadar, man. I know he be quick on it, right? It's a clip where LeBron's like, it's the warm-ups. They doing the little, they singing the Star Spangled Band or whatever the hell it is, right? And then after that, LeBron he do this, he do that, he do that. Then he do all this, do all that, do all this, then do all of that. He ain't go to college. He ain't part of no damn game. He doing all of this, doing all of this, all of that, doing all of that. That's some Freemasonry stuff he got going on, right? MJQ, right? All these leaders that's being propped up in front of us are part of some type of Greek letter or Black Greek letter organization. Your Christian pastor William Murphy, the one that was just shown in the video clip a while back, right? What does this teach our children? Let's go to verse 15. I'm gonna be done. I'll be done at 16. So I can go to verse 15. All right. I'm gonna go a little over because I got to get this out. Let's go to verse 15, Baba Kasha. Right. This what needs to what needs to be said. Right. This what needs to be this is what needs to be taught, right? This is important. Let's go to verse 15, Baba Kasha. Verse 15, if I could, Baba Kasha, right? Verse 15, Baba Kasha, right? See, and now this says, not setting, right, by the honors of their fathers. See, this is what happens when it says not setting by the honors of their fathers, but liking the glory of the Grecians best of all. See, this is what happens, right? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob wasn't part of no Greek fraternities, right? They wasn't stomping on no yards. right? You're selling for Jason that we read in 2 Maccabees 13, 4 and 13. It's like 4 and 13, right? Not selling by the honors of their fathers, right? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob won't stomp in the yard. Won't throw them no Q signs. They ain't do none of that. But liking the glory of the Grecians, you like what the Greeks do. You want to throw up this. You want to throw up that. You want to throw up all of them tan signs. You want to do all of that. You like that. Versus following these laws, statutes, and commandments. And being part of the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. That's what you like. Right? You like being part of the Greek culture. You want the glory of the Greek culture. Verse 16, Bob Kashan. This is my last verse, and I'm done. Verse 16, Bob Kashan. That's what you glorify. Right? Person that's in these black letter organizations, person that's in these Greek letter organizations, right? By reason whereof sore calamity came upon them, right? And because of that sore calamity is going to come over you. That calamity of you being a part of these Greek organizations, that calamity of you liking to be a part of these Greek organizations and things of that nature, right? Is going to come over you, right? It's going to come over your house, your children, and everything. For them that had to be their enemies and avengers, whose custom they followed so earnestly, and to whom they desired to be like in all things. This is what's going to come over you. The judgment of the Most High is going to come over you for being part of these things, for being part of these Greek organizations, for you liking to be a part of these Greek organizations. You want to be a part, you desire this, right? So now you're about to reap the repercussions of being part of this. You hate the Most High now. You don't want to serve him now. You want to adopt the traditions of men. That's what you want to do, right? That's what you want to do. Let me get a one in the chat if you understand what's going on tonight. That's it. That's it. Let me get a one in the chat if you understand what's going on tonight, right? That is what these people that's a part of these Greek organizations desire to do. They desire, right? They desire to want that glory of being a part of a Greek organization. They desire to be that forefront. They desire to be called their alter ego name when they step on the college campuses. They desire this. They desire to celebrate Christmas. This is what they desire. This is what they desire. This is what they love. And with that, you're going to suffer. You're going to suffer what the Most High is going to dish out. So with that, we are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, 1 West, starting out of 125th Street in Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3, 8, and 10. Malachi 3, 8 through 10. Slaki means 10th in the Hebrew ma'asra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Most High gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher, priest fund, Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upholy convocations, we have the Feast of Hanukkah. That will be this upcoming Sunday. All right. We will be at the school. We'll be at the school in Virginia getting it on with this Feast of Hanukkah, right? That'll be Sunday. All right. December 14th. All right. December 14th. All right. If anyone wants to be a trooper, all right, in the school, they are to start wearing all black, boots, shirts, pants, scarf, right? All black, everything. All right. Also, stay tuned for Captain Natazak, scripture breakdown, tomato. All right. Then on Friday, we have the Lashawan Kodash class. That's what's going on. Follow all social media. All right. And with that, Shalom Yahweh Shem Yashar Barakatah to the brothers. And Shalom Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah to the sisters. Shalom.
Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The ISUPK, under Commanding General Yahana, presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. All black Hispanics and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person, ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General Yahana. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping.